That's
So
where the thought process came from.
yeah, I guess like walking into that tower, the first day you walked into that tower, what was it that you were seeing that others weren't?
Look, it had the elements of luxury. It had the elements of upscale. You could just walk through the parking and realize that there is a fortune parked in the mezzanines and the podiums of this building, let alone the
Yep.
penthouses themselves, which I had taken a look at a few. You're talking about $7 million up to $15 million for a penthouse. So these are not funny numbers. These are real numbers, and there's a certain value and an expectation that comes with it that cannot just be managed like a normal building. So
Yep.
rather than having, a security guard at the front door or at the reception, you deserved something better. You deserved an experience that actually spoke to the fortune you just invested in living here. It's not an address that everybody can call home. Only very few, very select, a handful.
Yep.
And with that, you need to deliver that experience. And keep in mind, most people that live there travel the world, and they travel in first class. They travel to first class hotels, so they should have a first class experience in their own homes.
Hmm.
And that was kind of the vision behind elevating what was already there. Not to say that Larev did not deliver that five-star experience. It just needed to be fine tuned. And that was the ticket. That was the change that we did.
Yep. So where for the residents, once I guess you change that, like you change the structural mindset of the business or the the role, but also I guess people's roles and structures under that. What changed for the residents once that sort of hospitality mindset kicked in?
People were talking and presenting themselves in a different way. All in all, it was a different vibe altogether. We introduced a different style of music for the morning, for the evening. The lighting changed in the evening. It's just all went with the experience. I mean, we went as far as, and this is just kind of a small anecdote. We went as far as training our valet drivers how to open the door differently for a male than for a female, because there's that little bit of you're subjecting a female possibly to 5 to 10 seconds of being uncomfortable getting out of her car when she doesn't need to. We
Yep.
went as far as going into that much detail, and that's where people feel the difference.
Yep. Now, like that was the first, I guess, building or your first role in the company. At what point did you realise that you were destined, I guess, not just to be managing one building, but you were creating a prototype, I guess, for or a different model for community management?
I got to give it to my former boss and former CEO of Strata Global. He started taking me with him on different pitches. So when we pitched, look, I'm bred, fed, I breathe hospitality, right? It's all I know. It's all I've been doing since I was 18, 19 years old. So that's all I know how to speak about, at least passionately. So when he took me with him on these pitches, it was more of, all right, here's what we're doing. Here's what we can do. Here's the potential for your tower. This is how we can elevate, change, revise, improve, and that started becoming the language of Strata Global. I mean, at first, Larev was the only luxury tower we had. Today, we become luxury specialists, brand specialists, whether it's a hospitality brand, non-hospitality brand. I'm sure we'll dive into that in a little bit later, but that was the ticket. That was the change of Strata Global. It's I didn't leave hospitality. I'll just bring it with me to this company or
Yep.
to this project, essentially,
Yeah.
initially.